Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now and post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're finding the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape, or form, or you just want to give this channel some love. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. In a moment, we're going to talk about why it's important not to have an asexual scarcity mindset, right? It's very, very super important. But first, if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bellamy. I'm the author of this Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, A Celebration of Asexual Diversity book. I'm an asexuality coach and specialise in dating and relationships. So let's crack on with tonight's video. So tonight's video, I want to talk to you about asexuality, scarcity mindset, and why it's important not to have or develop one of these. So as we know, asexuals are recorded 1% of the population. This means we're 1 in every 100 people. And if you didn't know that the majority of asexuals tend to be the aromantic type, so they lack romantic attraction, they're like sexual attraction. There's a number of asexuals that don't want relationships. And so because there's more aromantics, those that lack romantic attraction, than romantic asexuals, this makes getting a relationship for romantic asexuals, for example, a lot more difficult because there's less people to choose from. If you add into that the nuances of your own asexuality, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and how much physical contact you do or do not want, there's kind of a huge kind of question mark as to how you're going to get a relationship that you want and desire, and, you know, like, where on earth is this relationship going to come from, right? You know, and you can develop over time something known as a scarcity mindset. So what is a scarcity mindset? A scarcity mindset is, instead of thinking, well, there's lots of people that could be a suitable match for me, you tend to think there's not many people available. Like, we're 1% of the population. A lot of the asexuals don't even want a relationship. It's very, very difficult to get into a relationship. And it's kind of, you focus on the lack of available people for a relationship to you, the lack of people wanting a relationship with you, the lack of people talking to you. And so developing a scarcity mindset is really bad. And the reason for this is we can attract people who are very bad for us, who are actually very abusive for us. Because when we come from a place of lack, of like really needing and wanting a relationship, but, you know, we can't get one, in our minds we're saying we can't do this, we can't have that, it means that we have a very limited capacity for believing we'll get our ideal person. So therefore we limit those beliefs and we limit the people that we think we can get into a relationship with. And therefore, when someone comes along that pays us a little bit of attention, that says they can live without sex, right, we then kind of latch onto that person thinking, oh, that's great, you know, I finally found someone who can live with me without sex. I'm never going to find that ever again in my life, so I've got to be with this person. And this is completely wrong and very self-destructive if you're just getting into a relationship with that person because you're scared that that's the only person you're ever going to come across. You know, there's some asexuals that don't want a relationship, some asexuals that are scared of a relationship because they don't want to commit, or they're just scared of getting hurt. And then you've got other asexuals that will plow headlong into a relationship with anyone that kind of comes along that says I can live without sex, and you have good chats together because they have a scarcity mindset. They feel they can't get anyone else, so they'd rather be with this person than no one. And that's really bad because it means a person, you know, they're more open to being manipulated by this type of person. They're more open to verbal and emotional abuse. And it's really, really, really unhealthy. So scarcity mindset looks like, this is the only person I can get in the world. You know, no one's going to love me and want me but this person, you know. And what the danger is I've actually come across some sexual guys. I talk about guys a lot because obviously I'm just into guys. And with the sexual guys, you know, I come across, they're like, oh, you're never going to find someone, you know, like that. And it's kind of like, well, have me, because I can live without sex, even though blatantly they can't really, the majority of them. They're just saying that because they want an emotional connection with you online. They want to keep you dangling like a fish while they have their sex with someone else, right? they are trying to like manipulate you by making you feel like you can't get anyone for a relationship. Therefore, you need to settle for being in an online relationship, for example, with them, where you can get your asexual needs met because, hey, you're asexual, you don't really need to be there in the physical form. This is what their attitude is, a lot of them. And therefore, you know, that's all good and well because they can have their cake and eat it, basically. They can have sex with someone else while having an online relationship with you. And, you know, you've got to stop this from happening, you know. You've got to know that you're not broken. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you being asexual. That's absolutely nothing wrong with you not wanting sex. You have as much right and entitlement to a relationship without sex because it doesn't fulfill your needs, then just like a sexual person has much right to have sex with someone who also wants sex, and it's consensual, you know. But you're both entitled to your own opinions, you're both entitled to your own views, you're both entitled to loving, caring, committed relationships and the type that you want, right? But you don't have to settle for someone who just says, well, basically I'm the best you're going to get, because you know who's going to want you because you're asexual. You know, that's the attitude that some of these guys have. They don't say that. They're not going to say, oh, well, no one's going to, you know, but they do say stuff like, well, you know, you're going to find it you're going to find it hard to get someone like that, but I'm willing. That's, you know, that's very narcissistic. You're going to find it hard to get someone like that. It's basically trying to put negativity into your mind, make you feel like you can't get anyone, therefore you've got to settle for them. You know, and this is very, very, like I said, very dangerous because you're open to being manipulated by them. You're opening to being belittled by them. You're opening to being pushed to do things you don't want to do because basically, you know, they're basically saying you can't get anyone else. So don't believe this. That's absolute rubbish. You know, life is long. You know, people are living longer than ever these days. And you don't need to just settle for someone because you think that's the best you're going to get, right? If you want to be in a loving, caring, committed relationship, don't settle for second best. Like, some people are genuinely polyamorous, right? They like being in a relationship with multiple people. But I've come across some asexuals that are like trying to push themselves into a polyamorous relationship just to get the love they need in those certain moments from that person because they feel that that's the only way they can be in a relationship, because the sexual person's not going to want them without sex and they can't get anyone else. You know, I see a lot of asexuals as well in asexual dating groups, and they're still not actually participating in the asexual dating group. They're still sitting on the sidelines. They're not interacting. They're not writing profiles. They're not posting pictures, you know, and they're going on sexual dating sites and having no luck. You know, should be on asexual dating sites and asexual groups, and you should be very proactive in them, because, you know, then can you actually start building friendships to possibly turn into a relationship at a later date with someone, you know? Obviously, genuine polyamorous people who love that type of thing's great, but I am very afraid when I see asexuals and they're pushing themselves into poly because they think that's the only thing they can get. There isn't any other option because they really get on quite well with this person, and why not? Because, you know, they can't get someone like themselves. But you've got to have an abundance mindset, which means thinking that there are loads of people out there, loads of asexuals, loads of possibilities that you could come across someone who, you know, is your ideal match. You know, there's hundreds of asexuals out there, thousands of asexuals. They're all on dating sites and everything. Not everyone's going to be right for you, but, you know, even in traditional, more heterosexual dating, you know, there's only about 5% of people that are right for them. Because, you know, dating's so specific and relationships are so, you know, like, it should be something that, you know, that you've really considered who your ideal type of person is. And a lot of people aren't going to fit up to that criteria. A lot of people aren't going to be right for you. But it's important to stay the course and be very, very patient, you know, very patient. You don't have to run into a relationship. You don't have to be with someone just because you're lonely. You know, if you're lonely, then have more friends, create more friends, go out to different meetup groups, get to loving yourself more, go self-dating more, to the cinema if it's open, or out for food on your own, go to day trips on your own, so your life is filled up and fulfilled without the need of relying on someone else. Because that's a lot more healthier for you than thinking I've got to be with this person because there isn't anyone else around and no one's going to want me or love me, you know? I mean, I used to be the type of person that was in a relationship with a person who was sexual. And one of the reasons I stayed with that person, despite them being abusive in other ways, not sexually, they weren't abusive sexually, they're abusive in other ways, I stayed with them because I thought I couldn't get anyone else that would be like them and have sex maybe like once in every, well, a few times in every like 2 or 3 months, like usually when we did it, it's quite a bit, but sometimes we would go without it for 2 or 3 months. So I thought I'm never ever going to find someone like this again in my life, and I had a scarcity mindset. I didn't realize I was asexual back then, but my mindset was so scarcity. It's like, I'm not going to get a person again. I can only be with this person because no one's going to want me if I don't want sex. And that's before I discovered as asexual. But, I do come across a lot of asexuals in dating groups. So like, oh, well, what if I reveal to them I'm asexual? You should be telling them that up front. If they damn well don't want to be with you, with your own identity as it is, then you shouldn't like go and be in a relationship with them hoping that they'll change their mind down the line of something they don't even know about. You owe it to yourself and to them to tell them the truth. If they can't love you for who you are in a way that you want to and make you happy, don't be with that person. You're just going to have a rocky up and down relationship that's going to be very insecure, very unhappy, and not fulfilling for you or satisfying. It's much better to be single forever than it is to go through the pain of being in a relationship with someone who's not loving you completely and he's just basically saying you're not going to get anyone else, so stay with me. It's very mind manipulating, but it does happen. Like I said, the amount of sexual groups I've been on Facebook where I was like, oh, you're not going to get someone with them, oh, good luck to you. And it's like they put you down, and it's like some of them put you down just to say, well, I could be that person, but you're not going to find anyone else. And it's like, no, do not accept second best. You're not broken. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Not wanting sex is an obvious scenario. Do you know what I mean? For some people. Liam. Hi, sweetheart Sandra. You deserve a strong, loving relationship. You're a beautiful person inside and out. Love you so much, Sandra. Oh, you're so lovely, Liam. It's lovely to see you. Really nice to see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love your words. You speak very nicely. But I've had an interview about asexuality, by the way. And that was one of the things I was telling the interviewer about. Although I think that was kind of going off the topic a bit of what the interview was all about. But I was, saying that I was appalled by when I'm on some, like in some dating groups that some sexuals just are basically saying, well, you're going to find it hard to get anyone without sex in a relationship, so just have a relationship with me. You know what I mean? And I think that's very nasty and horrible. But yeah, the asexuality interview went really well. I don't want to reveal it all because it's not fair, because this person's putting it on their YouTube channel, on their podcast. Hello, if they're watching. Thanks for thumbs up, But I just had a really good interview, And so the person was very, very understanding. They're part of the LGBT plus QIA community. And so it's really nice they're starting a new channel. And I was really pleased to help out and spread awareness of asexuality. And we talked about some kind of like a bit more intimate things, a bit different things as well. So they're gonna, put it on their YouTube and their podcast. So it's incredible. I'm really looking forward to that coming out. So, and I think like today, for example, I saw a friend who I haven't, well, not today now, yesterday, I saw a friend who I haven't seen for absolutely ages, and it was so good. I'm going off the topic a bit now because it was just so good after lockdown to see someone, And I think even during lockdown, you have to keep an abundance mindset, and actually during lockdown, it's the best time. And even now when we're social distancing, it's actually the best time ever to connect with more people online than ever before. I mean, the person I saw, well, I would say today, but it's yesterday now because it's Sunday now. The person I saw has been a best friend to me for years, And obviously Sam's like a major best friend to me, who's, usually my best friend on this channel, but I've got 3 best friends. So, and it was just really fantastic to see Andy. And, it's really good. And, I was just talking to them about, the opportunities of dating and relationships and the vast amount of types of relationships you can have, I mean, there's something for everyone, I think, and I just think it's very, very important to develop a mindset of like, you deserve love, you deserve to be loved without sex. You can have a lot of different types of people that might be the right person for you to be in a relationship with. they might be possibilities in places you never thought of. There's asexuals all over the place. There's asexuals on LinkedIn, asexuals on YouTube, asexuals on Pinterest, there's asexuals on TikTok, there's asexuals on Facebook, on Twitter. There's a whole load of asexuals all over the place. You've just got to find them. And it's important, the more that you communicate and connect with different types of asexuals, the more that you can see that there's a possibility of having lots and lots more friends, lots more acquaintances, lots more potential people to be in a relationship with. And this is a much more healthier thing to do than think, oh, I can't get anyone, so I just have to settle. Never settle, and don't buy the rubbish that it's like, oh, you got to have me because there's no one else out there for you. That's a very, very manipulative thing that some people do. They shouldn't be saying that to you about anything. So what you need to do is, in order to develop an abundance mindset instead of having a scarcity mindset, you need to be thinking there's lots of asexuals out there. You need to be connecting with as many asexuals as possible in groups, on forums, and you need to, be getting out there and even mixing with people that aren't asexual, to give yourself more opportunities. If I'm going to be with a sexual person, if I was, for example, then I'd want one that was like fully respectful of my asexuality and the fact I don't want sex. And, and at the end of the day, there's hundreds of thousands of sexuals out there. You know what I mean? So again, that's having an abundance mindset, thinking there's so many sexuals out there. There's bound to be like a few that don't want or need sex. Maybe they like doing other stuff and you don't mind doing that with them, So it's very, very, very important that that there are people out there. Just like I said, keep connecting with different types of asexuals. Keep connecting with them on groups and forums. Like, I'm talking to lots more asexuals these days. I'm talking to quite a few. I'm talking to a few guys on ASAP. I'm connecting with more guys on Facebook. I'm even connecting with more homo-romantic guys, so asexual guys that are into guys. And why is this important? Because it's still good for me to have friends. As an asexual person, you need more people that are good as friends for you. You need more people that will understand you. Because once you've got that support network around you, when sexuals come along and go, oh, you'll find it hard to find someone like you, even if they're not attracted to the same gender as you are, you still know that you've got this kind of support and backing of other asexuals, regardless of who they're attracted to. Do you know what I mean? Because it helps, like, when you feel supported, like you've got a bigger support network, when someone comes along and says, oh, you'll find it hard to get someone like you, it's not actually true. It's not true because you speak to people and see them on a regular basis. Like, when I do asexual meetups, that helps with my abundance mindset. It's like, well, I can meet asexuals in real life. It's rubbish that I can't. I know it's untrue. So reinforce the positive belief that you can meet other asexuals. There's thousands out there, and connect with more and more asexuals. Even if they're not suitable for a relationship with you, if you're interested in a relationship, connect with them, to be friends with them, to understand them, to grow your support network, to feel like there's a lot of asexuals out there instead of feeling there's just a few and you've got to settle. It's very, very important. Anyway, I'm doing a short video tonight, so I hope you found this useful, helpful, insightful, and that you've understood that having a lack mindset, it's very, very bad, because it means people can easily manipulate you into making you think that you can't get anyone because no one will want you, because there's such a very small amount of people that are asexual. Well, like I said, 1 in every 100 is actually quite a lot. If you think about a concert, for example, and there's thousands of people in the room, there's going to be quite a lot of asexuals in that room. Do you know what I mean? So please, please, please have an abundance mindset. Start connecting with more asexuals in group. Even if you're introverted, reach out, start the process, start talking, start chatting about things that are in their profile, pictures, things that are hobbies and interests they've shared, photos they've shared. Start talking about things like that, and then grow and develop conversations, and really get into communicating, connecting with more and more asexuals, because it will just make you have a much better mindset, and you won't be so needy of getting into a relationship with someone who's bad for you, because you'll think that's all you can get. It's very important to know you're not broken, there's nothing wrong with you, and you can get a really good person for you for friendship or relationship. Never forget that. Anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other. So I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. and share it with anyone you think may benefit from it. I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Thank you so much, Liam. Lots of love as always. And I'll see you or speak to you soon. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get notified every time I go live. Right now, I'll post a new video. Bye-bye.